uplifting is what's coming through. So this energy, it feels like someone was very either nervous or anxious about something, and it's kind of alchemizing into excitement. But they're also, it's an energy who's also aware that this kind of energy driving and initiating in that excitement can often be quite impulsive for them, and it's led them down the wrong path. Well, I say wrong, it was clearly lessons they need to learn, but they don't want to repeat that, is what I'm getting. But it just feels uplifting. It feels like something's been released, some kind of something heavy that they were carrying, the energy. And it's like they're coming back to themselves more now, and that's why this uplifting energy is coming through, or is going to be. Okay, so yeah, let's see what this is. Feels like a positive fork in the road is what I'm hearing. So I don't think it was something they were expecting. It's not something they were expecting. I think that there's somebody who's done things in a way that maybe isn't the norm. Okay. Yeah, see, they're getting their strength. They have been, for a very long time, that anxiety energy, they've very much been trapped in their own mind. Okay. I think also they've stopped themselves from doing what they want to do. Ace of Cups, it says overflowing love here. This is truly heartfelt, pure intentions. Love, they're loving energy. Two of Coins in reverse. So this is why they're trying to find out how to move forward. With that Two of Coins in reverse, it really feels like someone, it's like they've reset or re-understood their priorities. And this is what's helping them to move in this direction of the heart. For a very long time, they were stopping themselves, truly. And not only they were, and their internal minds, that self-entrapment, you know, the, again, that mental health energy, but I think also just the pulls that were stopping them. I think they were dealing with a lot of external, I'm not sure if conflict is a word, but just energies that were just so, it's almost like trying to bring them down, if you will. And I don't know, I think this brought out not the best side in them as well. You know, they've tried to do things in ways that almost underhanded, if you will. But this is what they're finally releasing themselves from, with that Strength card as well, the invisible force. They're tapping into that invisible force, and my gosh, is it powerful. Okay. And now they're trying to understand how to move forwards. Two of Cups right after the Ace of Cups. That's beautiful. So it's definitely something. Three of Wands. That card is beautiful. It says manifesting your dreams, and then you've got the Three of Swords here. So this is someone who's been in a lot of whatever has been trapping them in the mind and in their environment as well, the external. I'm hearing like mishandling energy. Maybe they've been mishandled, they've mishandled others, but whoever and whatever it is, this was entrapping them, but they're finally clearing through that, and they're seeing what's ahead. Yeah, so no longer staying, and this is why it feels like they've uplifted, their energy field has uplifted. It's a lighter feeling because they're not carrying that kind of heartbreak, grief, whatever it is with them anymore. And with this Two of Cups comes this beautiful Three of Wands. So really looking ahead, wanting to manifest, moving forwards, if you will, if you want to say that word. But truly recognizing their vision and wanting to create it in their physical. And I think there's something about where they actually have faith in this now, whereas perhaps in the past they didn't, with everything that they were telling themselves. Lighthouse could be really important to somebody. They weren't seeing the light. They were looking in the other direction. They were blindfolded. They were not seeing the beautiful lighthouse that had been there for a very long time, trying to guide them back. You know, they were just in the choppy seas. Their emotions were not being, they found it very difficult to handle their emotions. Okay. Lion could be important for somebody. Fountain, I'm seeing Trevi Fountain, you know, in Italy. Beautiful. They've been very King of Wands in reverse, okay? But they're walking away from that. Not being like that anymore. This is what's caused all the conflict in the past, maybe even in this connection that's clearly coming through their heart space. So they've been very, again, that energy, that unpredictable, you know, led by impulse. And that's why it's got them in these situations where there's been conflict, there's been tearing apart, there's been complete, I'm hearing misunderstandings, miscommunication, you know, not really knowing how to handle conflict. So maybe they're quite avoidant when it comes to handling conflict, you know. Maybe if this is a reflecting thing, then kind of it's kind of important to understand where you might also have those avoidant tendencies, projecting that, you know, not doing the thing that needs to be done, because it means that you then have to address what comes with it, the responsibility, the accountability, the, you know, everything else. It can be the smallest things, you know, like reading an email, you know, responding to somebody's question, whatever it is, you know. So little things, not a big deal. Okay, so King of Wands in reverse. So they didn't show up as a leader who could be trusted. Got Leo sign energies, but look at this. Yeah, they were thinking way too small. This is like the truest expression, their heart space. They were just thinking, oh, you know, just this romance. Maybe they are a bit of a romantic. King of Wands, you know, romantic gestures, but the follow through, you know, they weren't able to hold it down. This is where they're changing. They're understanding where their strength lays in being that person, you know. So yeah, they are very romantic. Yes, they do want to move forwards, but they're not. This is page. This is page energy, you know. Page is not king. You know, so they're still dealing with their emotions in a way that they know how. Clearly they're going on a journey, but it's kind of I actually feel like this is how they approached before though. You know, maybe they had a lot of like loving energy, and they knew how to speak the right words, had a bit of charm maybe, you know. And they did. I actually feel like they wanted to be in that heart space. They did. But they just didn't know how to handle it. I don't think they've ever had a secure, stable relationship, romantic relationship, but also, you know, what they've grown up with. They might have had some kind of mother wounds here, so I'm getting as well. Okay, that they've had to heal through. Okay, yeah, see, this Eight of Swords that's come through, and now this Page of Swords in reverse. There was such a lack of clarity here. They themselves might have been very much mind games, or maybe they thought they were experiencing mind games on somebody else, but there's something here about really lack of mental clarity internally, not from anyone else. This is internally in their own space. So how they then projected themselves externally was a result of all these stories they were telling themselves, you know, they're doing this, you know. That's come through for a reason. I think that they didn't see that why somebody would even want to give them the best of themselves. It's kind of like they constantly expected the worst. They've really had to learn. They've really had to learn how to trust themselves, which is going to help them to trust other people. So clearly they've had some kind of betrayals in the past or something, you know. That could also come from their lack of like ability to communicate effectively. Misunderstandings. Yeah, Hermit in reverse. Way too... It's like I'm seeing that globe again, the globe, and, you know, they're the sun and everything's evolving and thinking around them, but that's not the case. Everybody else has... They're learning that everybody else has their own stuff as well. It's not just about them, and, you know, it's not just about their wounds and what's hurting them, and, you know, they're the center of everyone else's world, you know. I think that might have been quite a harsh realization for them. They might have had quite a big ego. That King of Wands in reverse, I'm here seeing like on their high horse energy. So why would somebody not say yes to these little romantic gestures and actual stability and follow through? And no actual follow through. Okay, we've got Hermit and Strength. This is giving Leo Virgo energies as well. We've got there going on, but see what else comes through. My gosh, it's so funny. They were so trapped in their own mind, but it's because they were only seeing from their own point of view. They weren't even allowing them to step into somebody else's shoes or ask the right questions or have the right understanding, you know. Yes, oh my god, the Ten of Swords. I'm hearing that song, The Final Countdown. That's come out with that strength. So they have had to really pick themselves up here. I think they've had some... I mean, this is from childhood. If your mental health is that much entrapping you in your own mind space, your insecurities, and the Ten of Wands here as well. Oh, heavy and dark. You know, they've had to gain some strength here because they've had to learn how to handle these situations that they've been going through. They've had some massive ego deaths. Huge. No longer just my way, it's all me, you know, wallowing in self as well. And this is what I'm hearing, you know, that, oh, you know, poor me energy, which is not the nicest thing to say, okay, but that's what's come through. But this is good because they're actually closing this out. They're going to be coming, this is why the uplifting energy is coming through, because they're coming out of this now, right? when you come out of those energies, that 10 of swords and that 10 of wands I was trying to peek through, you are not the same person, because that strength someone has gained, like I said, I think they had a lot of insecurities here, massive egos, but this has changed, so they're not going to be the same person who they were with all those ego deaths. That the Emperor in reverse, it kind of came out both ways though, so whatever the case, the Emperor here, the moon, subconscious, they're still dealing with a subconscious mind, and I think it's also because they're trying to understand what they've just come out of. Okay, they have a better understanding, but they also need to still learn how to release control. So when you have control, you have that that's where your trust comes from, because you can control it, so you can know how it's going, you can make sure it's going the way you want it to. But when you surrender, you don't have that control. That takes strength, faith, trust in yourself to be able to handle what comes next. You know, whatever comes is that divine alignment. Okay, got this, the moon here, so there was a lot that they were trying to just keep beneath the surface, and it just wasn't going to continue that way on their journey. Needs to come through. Beautiful. The world. That's really nice. Oh my god, I'm the sun. Okay, but it's not us. Okay. This is good. So this is why they're learning now how to get their priorities right, which we mentioned, and also then take the right make the right decisions. You know, that Emperor energy, make the right decisions from understanding where they've just come from. That cycle that's closing out now. You know, they've had a lot of, I think this is with all those swords as well. I think this is somebody who they need a lot of mental clarity, and this is something that they really struggle with. I'm seeing that hazy energy, you know. So this is something they really need to focus on in order to move forwards. Yeah, look at this. They bottle it all in. This is a problem. They need to not do that, right? Again, trust, but not telling everyone your business. You know, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about really healthily beginning to understand your own subconscious mind in the avenues that are correct for you. Maybe it's therapy, maybe it's just learning, you know, studying, whatever it is. But it's taking some time to sit with yourself. That Hermit card, reflection, take that time with yourself and honestly reflect, because when you just have one perspective or your own, or, you know, you're not seeing things from different angles. And this feels like somebody who has the capacity to see things from different perspectives, right? Keeping it all in, that's not good though. So this is why they blocked their intuition then. They had a really blocked intuition. I think this is what they're understanding. They didn't want to proceed because they didn't want more pain, but they were just bottling it beneath the surface, you know. They've been going through some serious tests of faith, and I think it has something to do with somebody else. Somebody who was not emotionally available either. I'm going to say either. Yeah, justice, a karmic energy. They were absolutely not unconditional love here. It was just, this has been their test of faith, and is their heart going to turn to stone? Or is their ice going to melt and they're going to really step into their self and recognize the worthiness of their heart, the pure, deep love they have there, devote themselves to their divine path now? This was one of the biggest tests, whoever this is. Wow, they really want to have move forward with this 2 of cups. Oh my god, the 10 of coins as well. They definitely want it. They're seeing long-term, higher level commitment here now. Okay. It's almost like they have this vision and they're not letting go of it. That's what they want. And when they come in, they're locking in, you know. When they get that, they're locking in, you know. And this 10 of coins, I think they've gained so much more clarity on what this means to them, not what they've come from or what they've experienced, but what it truly means for them. Okay, because that beautiful 2 of cups, you know, that's 2 equal cups of, yes, you know, we both want to do this. This is our little cup. How can we make this work? How can we align this, you know? There's no forcing, you know, there's true beautiful, pure intention, you know, with that Ace of Cups as well. They've had to really, this has really helped, whatever they've gone through, it's really helped them to, it's like their heart awakening, but it's really helped them to access that depth within. Okay. Wow. Powerful. There's something about abundance that's important for this person as well. Their abundance, you know, they want true abundance. They're still working on their divine masculine energy though. Divine masculine approaches from divine truth, their heart space. You know, they also have a level of surrender to divine, of course they do. You know, that's that sexual energy as well. I think that is what they're driven with before. sexual energy. There's deception, jealousy, betrayal, backstab, toxic, silent treatment, seduction, sexuality, counterproductive. They've had to deal with some, this, whatever it is redirected them, their compass back onto their path, because clearly they were going way off path. Okay. Snake. Snake could be important as well. Maybe even the year of the snake has been very important for somebody here. Okay, and these could be behaviors that they themselves had allowed themselves to adopt because of everything that they were telling themselves in their mind, everything that had gone, that hadn't closed out, the inability to truly effectively communicate, which is a skill, you know. And it's really sad because actually I feel like when somebody truly wants to set the record straight and they just don't know how to communicate, that's heartbreaking for them. But you put the effort in to try your best, and this is somebody who they just stayed in their own mind, you know. They gave themselves mind games. Do you know what I mean? Which isn't that, again, it's not a very nice thing to say, but it's kind of like they've had to truly learn to release this. God, I don't know what they grew up with, but it's clearly truly embedded in their mind space from that age of 3. You know, that's what they say, it's the age of 3. And it's like they told themselves the same story, and they were not told nice things about themselves. You know? Number 7 again, 7-7. Peace, miracles, purity, protection, leap of faith. Sign, message, rise above. I think they truly want to take a leap of faith here. Encouraging forgiveness and reconciliation, okay? Freedom. This is going to make them feel so much more free. I think that they feel really bad about this energy that they themselves projected. Okay. That King of Wands in reverse. Again, the Wheel of Fortune here. This one's all about karmic cycles. It's out of your hands getting what you deserve, right? They've had to learn some true lessons, like I said, from karmic energies. And they're truly understanding what that feels like now, to be on that end, you know? Which isn't nice, you know. I don't, like I said, this is clearly from a very wounded space. Detour, something about a detour. There's been a lot of delays for somebody. It does say rethinking priorities, and I did say that. So something's come through. God, they've had a lot of external, not nice people around them in their environment at all. Truly, this is probably part of the reason why they tell themselves those stories, because they don't have that, that they haven't had for a long time, their trusting energy, you know, whoever they were keeping around them. Diamond rings, so they want to take things next level, but I think that I think they've had to really deal with their environment, because whatever this is, if they wanted to take things next level, it would have been way too involved in whatever this energy here is, birds in a way, you know, too much gossiping, too many people being talking behind your back and manipulative, all that kind of stuff. I think this is why there's been something here, some kind of obstacle they've really had to handle so that they can finally move towards this diamond ring 25. So the gears was on the floor, this card was, so there's clearly some kind of progress taking place, something's working, you know, like the way it needs to, basically. So they want this to be smooth and seamless, and so that's what they're understanding. And I think that they've been removing the things on the environment that have just been, I'm going to use a word that's come through, I don't use this word a lot, toxic, okay? So clearly, gosh, this is about working together as well. They've not had that energy they've had to deal with. Let's get some confirmation for this snake. Confirmation for this snake energy. Oh, look at that, the tornado. Oof. Sudden, unexpected, total wreck of an ending. Over and done. Okay. However, we've now got the dominoes as well. So 8, 13, okay. So this is really about, again, there's another card of progress. So if someone wants to set something in motion, I think it's to clear up whatever that is, a snake and the tornado. Oof. This does also say cause and effect, so I think that they've had to really handle whatever this chain reaction of events was, and that's everything that's coming through, you know, really the heaviness that they're coming out of. And when it comes to their emotional space, they really were operating from their inner child, you know. Their ego was just, that's why they're probably quite sexually driven in terms of their forward initiation or whatever, or even just, you know, just a lot of ego. Okay, confirmation for this beautiful white feather, okay, which was a card of reconciliation as well. Whoa, let's get another one. Oh my God, yeah. snowflake and the avalanche. Gosh, a lot of wintry kind of vibes here. I think that they've been getting sign after sign. They've been bombarded with signs about wherever this connection they want to move towards is and their true path and everything. And, you know, way more than they could handle, I think, you know. But this is also what's helped them to rise above what they were going through. And they're understanding that this diamond ring they want to move towards is a very sensitive situation. It's one of a kind, okay? They want to handle with care. They need to. They've had to learn how to, you know. But that's good. It's freeing them from being bound in this past way that was just not serving their soul and their higher purpose is what I'm hearing. Okay, 16 and 9. What's this detour though? This detour energy. Really had to rethink their priorities, which is good because they're getting better at that. Okay, masculine energy here. There's something here about, you know, there's this longing energy. There's that charm as well that was coming through before, 32. I'm just going to get another one. Okay. So I think that they've had the longing for the longest time to communicate, but this is where the details have come through. So this is why the longing has just gone stronger and stronger. Okay, they've had obstacle after obstacle, you know, and it's because of their choices that they've been making, right? 27 and 7, 32. So making contact is there. And I do feel like the throat has been clearing for them. You know, they've really had to learn how to make those decisions. Again, that divine masculine energy from a balanced, healthy space, not the wounds. So this bird in a wire, let's see. Okay. Whoa, lots has come through. This is what's helped them to understand things better. The people around them have been untrustworthy. You know, the secrets, everything like that. They themselves are probably operating in that as well, is what I'm seeing. Number 27 is important, okay, to come out twice. 31, so a change of heart. This is what's helped them to have their change of heart because they're finally realising, hold on, what I wanted. This is not it, you know. As their ego deaths are coming through, the masks are falling off within themselves. They're seeing the masks falling off around them. They're really seeing things and people for what they truly are. You know, they're reclaiming their freedom here. There's a new beginning moving forwards. And it's all about the multiple choices that they are in control of taking as they transition through this now. Moving forward, they're reclaiming their power and they're having access to their own heart space now. None of this that was blocking them. You know, maybe they did listen to others or maybe it just was that whatever had happened in the past. Now they have a heart and mind connection. Look at that doorbell. Truly somebody wants to move forward, so I can feel that energy, that excitement that I was talking about. So emotional intelligence, their capacity when it comes to understanding on an emotional level has expanded because of everything they've had to deal with. Again, it's about decision making, that card as well. Authentically, wholeness here. Look, this has come out with the diamond ring. This is beautiful. 34 again. Well, it's not again. Oh no, it is. 34 is important. Waterfall, overflowing abundance. Emotional release, letting it go, fulfillment, release, tears of joy. I think this is what they're thinking is going to happen when they reach this diamond ring energy, this next level, this marriage, union, partnership, promise, agreement, proposal, engagement, statement of intent. But there's this mask at the bottom, 14. If you're coming through with masks, that's one of their karmic cycles they need to clear through. They're keeping things way too hidden. That's not divine energy. Masks, you know, pretending to be someone or something else. It's not your divine self, right? It's another thing they need to really come through with confidence. Not the King of Wands in reverse. King of Wands upright. Confidence. You know, I'm hearing claiming what is yours actually, which is again that energy of reclaiming your power, confirmation. Again, masculine energy. Golden ticket. So this is the turning point, the big break. Number 5. Once in a lifetime success, something special, magical. I think they want this to be magical, what they're moving towards, you know. They see it as magical, they really do. This is why they don't really let go and they haven't. And whatever they want, they're just... Gosh, yeah, magical. Did I say that? Anyway, an extraordinary event, major opportunity, luck. I'm going to get another one for that, luck. Oh my God, just as I said, that's a clover, lucky clover. This is all about luck as well. Good fortune, carefree, a reward. But just be mindful that this isn't something that's going to be short-lived. So it's all about intention as you move forward, right? That communication. It's not just based on the yearning and the longing. It's actually stable, grounded. This is my heart. It's truth, you know. Not that you have to go all in, you know. You have to create that space of safety as I talk about, you know. It's a two-way thing, you know. Okay. But that's going to be that change whatever's happening here. I'm going to get another one for this beautiful diamond ring and waterfall. Oof. This is not what, this is something that somebody has been terrified of. This is all the anxiety that I was talking about, the anxiety, the stress. I think they've been, maybe it's something that they've been thinking about for such a long time, and they're just wondering, time is a thing because of all the obstacles that have been coming through. You know, the time they wasted is what I'm hearing specifically. Wow. And they don't want to, I don't know, something, it's really weird. I think this is where they're finally going to get a release. No more of this anxiety and stressed about it. Finally, you know, feeling the fulfillment of it. Let's get another one just to confirm that. The masculine energy just wants to come through. Yes, this is about masculine energy. Anything else? Look at that, the stars, wishes coming true. This is interesting, garden. So 20 and 8, 28, 23, 2, 6, 5, 34. Crowds, audience. This is something about the external, so it could be a date as well. Maybe someone's really nervous about this coming forward because of that. Okay, right, I'm just going to get some more cards. What do you need to be aware of? This beautiful message. The lovers at the bottom of the deck, that's a union. Winter time could be important. Someone's been very detached. They felt like they've been very detached. Okay, winter again, winter, Capricorn energies. Wheel of Fortune, expansion, abundant expansion. Okay. This is someone who really tells themselves a lot of stories that just keeps them, holds them back all the time. Their own heart space, look at that. They're finally learning to say yes, to take that leap of faith that's coming through. They're stepping, that Capricorn energy is like, don't forget Capricorn's ruled by Daddy Saturn, you know. Capricorn is all about, it always gives that really masculine energy to me, you know. So they're finally understanding that, and they're getting more, understanding what it means to put in the effort, to say yes, knowing when to roll the dice, okay, not impulsively like before. So there's a culmination here. They're finally moving on from this detached energy where they've just been over there, you know, just ruminating, and now it's kind of like there's abundance on the horizon, and they're seeing that, they're seeing it with that 3 of Wands. Beautiful. Wow. There could be some kind of event coming up that's going to be important here, actually, where there's going to be others around. Okay, twin flame card at the bottom of the deck. Another card of winter. This is about autumn, but the others are all about winter. So Aquarius season as well. So within 2 to 4 weeks, something could be unraveling. Whoa. I said that. And this is about within the next 7 days. So, okay. Someone's dealing with something when it comes to their shadow energy. And that's something within the next 7 days. It's kind of like they're having a rebirth from. Okay. Yeah, look at that, karmic energy. They've been stuck in this for a long time. That was coming through before for a reason. But it's helped them just to learn how to be patient, yes, but how to become grounded. Look at that death card. This being a massive part of their transformation. Again, we've got the leap of faith here. They really want to move forwards, but it comes with this justice card, this being handled, no longer being stuck in this. You know, and I think, again, this has been something that's, yes, okay, there's been part of it that's been in their hands, but I think there's been other matters here, maybe legal matters, where there's been a lack of truth, integrity. You know, things have been quite imbalanced here. Whatever that is that's being unstuck, and it could be an addiction of their own, strength card again. You know, but this is what they're finally understanding, to find balance in, to bring that divine justice through, so that they can finally enter this beautiful expansion energy. Got here Saturn, karmic cycles, the world again, so truly closing out something big and pivotal here, especially with this Fool that wants to come through now. The Fool is jumping into that leap of faith of opportunity that is expansion, abundance. Okay, this is again turning point, a card of turning point. Someone's already coming into who they need to be. This is why there's that excitement then, because finally this longing that they've had and the obstacles that kept getting in their way, they're finally closing that final chapter. You know, they're gaining their strength, they're truly reclaiming their power here, closing out a true cycle that they had it within themselves to have to. It was part of their duty. Okay, soul duties, you know, but also the decisions that we're making in the past. So it's helped them, wherever this is. Yeah, forward. These are massive about just forward progress, expansion, abundance. Someone's really going to, when they go forward, they're going to be like, yes, I'm going, you know, the reins, I'm seeing the reins, but truly finding balance to stay on that chariot and not letting it just fly off the road, you know, get a life of his own kind of thing. So horses, beautiful white horses, willpower, determination, success, action. They want success, truly. and they want to take that emperor action. But again, they need to find that balance within themselves to understand where it's from their healthy space, so they can be received equally, reciprocity. So it's a very personal journey though, because connection isn't really coming through actually. Get one more or whatever wants to come through. Okay. That was spring as well. Yeah, the star, whatever's happening is all part of their healing. Again, you've got the star at the bottom there and you've got the star here. Big Aquarius energies. Okay, so this thing about Valentine's Day, this is someone who's really romantic beneath the surface. This is another thing that needs to, that grounded energy, Capricorn. Inspiration, altruism, hope, faith, healing. This is what's helping them to move forwards, truly. Oh my God, there's the Lover's card. It just wanted to come through. Oh my God, Venus, the Empress, Virgo. Death card again. Okay. So let me quickly get some clarification. I'll get some clarification for your connection. Moving forwards. We're going to talk about moving forwards now, because we understand the past to the degree that came out. Yeah, okay. As they release this karmic cycle, all the energies attached to it, whatever it is, because it could sometimes be even things that they need to get rid of, if you had shared agreements or whatever it is. As they're clearing that inside and out, they're going to be able to explore these beautiful romantic feelings. And understand that they do understand that your feelings are real and worth exploring. Okay, it's that intention, and how you follow it through, allowing each other the space to evolve. Not everyone's perfect. Be honest, what works, what doesn't. So you could see someone as your soulmate, or even just high level soulmate, twin soul, whatever you want to resonate with. Their passion, yeah, lots of passion here. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. They love that. Playful. Okay, I do feel like that energy of, like teenagers going on dates or something, like this. I think of them and their romantic energy. Okay, heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Moving forwards. Okay, one more. Okay, children. This is something they could want, but also there's going to be that energy of clarity, what's been happening there. I'm going to get them an animal card quickly. Children. Wow. Children have been coming through a lot, that inner child, so maybe there's some truth there, but the swans. Number 6. I do think this is such a beautiful card. Soulmate again, twin flame, faith, pair of things, blooming love, the one, deep soul connections, divination. So somebody could really be, a seer, an oracle, that kind of energy, really activating that beautiful high priestess. Fluidity. So there's had to be a lot of energy here where there's that give and take and equal reciprocity that's going to be needed. But clearly someone's seeing this as a very deep soul connection. Look at that butterfly, metamorphosing. They're seeing themselves on this path. That's how they're understanding their current connection. Okay, moving forwards, what else do you need to be aware of? So interesting that their person hasn't really come through at all. Time for healing, because it's about them now. They need to do this. They need to do this to understand themselves, their path, what's truly driving them. What are they feeling? Yeah, expect powerful change. Another Aquarius card, they're learning how to be authentic, Authentic. And, another Aquarius card, bring love to the situation. New start is coming. Aquarius is a big energy here, okay? When it comes to that energy, Aquarius, I find that they're very unique, beautiful. I love that Aquarius energy, truly. They have their own thing going on, but sometimes it's, because don't forget Leo, which was coming through before, and Aquarius are sister signs, right? It's okay to be independent and different. In fact, I think that's beautiful. But also sometimes, other people will have make the same choices, have the same things, whatever it is, say the same things the way you say them, whatever it is, it's okay to allow yourself to recognize that there's community out there too, community, not just you. Yeah, that'll make sense for whoever needed to hear that. Okay, new start is coming. What else? You're going to need to bring love into the situation, because that's the Ace of Cups. The heart space is overflowing with love, so it's about learning how to handle those emotions. Yeah, step out the comfort zone. Don't let the past get in your way. Leo Aquarius could be your south and north node maybe. Yeah, so that's exactly what they're doing. They don't want to repeat the past. They do want to move forwards. They do want to step out their comfort zone and do this. That's why that strength card came through. The invisible shield, learning how to trust themselves. All right, they've been working through a lot. Internal change here, okay? Especially this energy of thinking nothing's going to come of it, and that's them trying to control again, and they need to understand that that's the old way. That's what they stayed in their comfort zone. New romantic cycle, you know. Look at that. Adjustments are required. With this, nothing will come of the situation energy. You know, it doesn't need to be like that. Okay, that's where adjustments have had to. Lots of purple here. That third eye, crown. They've been having some serious awakenings. Libra energy as well. Okay, wow. So there is this energy of surrendering to divine that's super important here. Okay, so beautiful. 10 of Coins at the bottom of the deck. I'm just going to see if there's anything for their person that comes through, because they're clearly connected to somebody here that they want to move towards. Their person, they clearly see themselves on that beautiful divine path, you know. Oh my god. Okay. So this is somebody who's also felt that heartbreak. They've thought about it a lot, you know. They're also someone who's a bit of a non-conformist, but I think that higher level commitment is on their mind currently, you know. Queen of Wands. Hi. She's confident. She's in her power. She's got this light, this glow. Oh my god, and that's authentic, truly. Not afraid to be who she is. It's very spiritual energy as well. Lots of fire. She might have fire in her chart, you know. Beautiful. The color red's important. Maybe they have a lot of passion for this. So you got the King of Wands over there in reverse, and you got the Queen of Wands here, which is beautiful. So that's why they saw this person as their person, because they saw, wow, I see myself in you. That's why they're resonating with this journey. Twin flames, you know. Wow. 6 of Cups. I think these feelings are mutual. It's just going to be about expressing it correctly. Because clearly this is somebody who went through their own, this feminine energy, their own pain as a result of this. Yeah, the devil, they were shown their own shadows. This would make sense. They had to go through releasing all of that, truly stepping into their confidence. Look at that passionate start. Wow. Personality clashes. So there was conflict. I think that there was a lack of aligned values, you know, and aligned a lot of things. And this is something that whoever the person is has thought about a lot. 3, 4, 5, you know, which is a shame really, because I'm seeing, oh my god, another ace. All the aces want to come through these new beginnings, okay? Wow. This is somebody who really is, I'm seeing strong values, you know, truly knowing her worth, yeah, going on her own path right now, very much a leader of her own, you know, destiny, if you will. Just started really heavily raining outside. Whoever it is, they've got some kind of celebration energy around them. It's beautiful. That's that new path that they're moving into. That's really nice. I'm seeing that Jupiter card, so it's kind of like maybe you'll align in that or something. Oh my god, the Empress. You're both on a divine journey. Look at that. Got 2 cards here. What are they? Oh yeah, this is someone who's been working hard on their own craft. So this is where this divine feminine energy has been also reclaiming their power as well, but turning it back inwards. And this is why there's a lot of hard work that's been going on here. So they're going to be, whoever this is, going to be celebrating something soon. Oh my god, the Empress. Wow. Right. Stepping into your own kind of divine energy in your own light. Super important to remember, if you're truly on the divine journey, you need to have cleared out the karmic elements in order to truly come together. That's why that detour kept coming through. That's what's made this longing so strong for this person, divine masculine energy. The only thing, obviously, if there's things involved that, like children or something, you know, you understand how to work around those things, but it's the lesson, it's what's happening within you needs to be cleared through, right? That's what the biggest thing here is to remember, because if this is somebody who truly wants to move towards this and be heart-led in this, they're already understanding how to do this. None of this anxiety anymore. This is, again, that's from already wounded space, right? Yeah, of course you're going to be a bit anxious when you want to move towards something, you know that you want it, but it's about understanding and surrendering to the energy of what's mine is mine, right? And understand that actually things need to be done in a certain way sometimes as well. Like I said, this is somebody who they want to approach is very much in her own power, in her own light, you know. So she'll have her own needs and requirements, as does anybody, regardless. You should create space for that. It's really raining outside. That's really beautiful energy, you know. It's like, it feels really angelic, this angelic presence, you know. From when I was younger, there's always been that energy. Okay, so there's some things to clear through. But right now, this feels like a very personal energy. And on the horizon is something beautiful, right? If you give the opportunity. And with this Devil card that came out with the feminine energy, I do think that maybe this is somebody who masculine thought that this is somebody who's just to be, you know, there was just like this attraction there. And that's it, that passionate energy that you truly clearly have. but this is not somebody who wants any more strings attached, and that's what I mean by what I was just saying. You know, no more of that. It's not just you and your baggage that's not being handled. Everyone has scars, okay? That's important. There's people's vulnerabilities, but you have to be the one who takes accountability for that, you know. But that's, this rain is giving me this waterfall energy too, that does tears of joy. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest things that this masculine energy is going to experience after all of this stress, this illness, this reduction. There's been loss of, you know, maybe even theft. Now they really want to level up, you know. They're ready for that next level. And maybe it has taken them a while. But it's also taken a while for this divine feminine energy to understand her path and to really lock in with that, if you want to say like that, okay? So there's that going on. Don't forget, when it comes to these beautiful heart-to-heart conversations, when this communication is made, just do what feels right to you. Stay in your heart space. Okay, everyone has their own way. So if you're triggered, step back for a second, you know, understand that someone's doing something that's in their comfort zone. But also, this is going to, however you respond, is going to help them to step out of their comfort zone. When you are truly honest and transparent in your own vulnerabilities, it helps other people to be the same, okay? Clearly, whoever this is for, you both clearly are wanting this, okay? So I want to make that clear. And for a long time, there's been this energy of both of you thinking that nothing's going to come of this. There's going to be some, that heart-to-heart conversation is going to need a lot of honesty in order to create even the path forwards here, you know. I think this might be where there's that time to celebrate coming through, but it comes with clarity on what's being released, what still is being released, maybe, you know, what has been happening in that Ten of Swords energy, you know. Be careful, handle with care, you know. There's a lot of vulnerability in this energy, so that's why that heart space is real. This is why they've handled things with ego before, so you got this, okay? Sending love.